The Grand Assembly of the Galactic Federation had never witnessed such unanimous hatred. Representatives from 47 civilizations sat in their crystalline chambers, their various forms of communication devices crackling with shared fury. At the center of the vast amphitheater, a holographic display showed the blue-green world that had become the source of their collective nightmare. Earth. "The motion stands before us," announced Vex Kalar, the Centaurian Prime Speaker, his metallic voice echoing through the chamber. "Total annihilation of the human homeworld. All in favor?" 47 appendages, tentacles, claws, and energy signatures rose in perfect synchronization. The humans had done the unthinkable. In just 3 centuries since first contact, they had shattered every established protocol of galactic civilization. They refused to accept their designated role as a labor species. They questioned the caste systems that had maintained order for millennia. Worst of all, they had begun spreading their infectious ideas of individual worth and collective uprising to other subjugated races. The Krillian mining colonies report 67% productivity decline due to human influence, reported Ambassador Thys, her serpentine form coiled in agitation. They speak of something called workers' rights. "The Valdorian agricultural worlds are in open rebellion," added General Morthak, slamming his chitinous fist against his console. "They demand what humans call fair wages and dignity." The charges continued for hours. Wherever humans went, chaos followed. Not the chaos of war or destruction, but something far more dangerous, the chaos of hope. "The weapon is prepared," announced the Federation's War Marshal, a massive entity of pure energy contained within a geometric frame. "The Stellar Convergence Array will reduce Earth to cosmic dust within solar hours of activation." The vote was cast. The weapon was fired. 3 months later, the first reports began trickling in from the outer systems. Ships bearing Earth's registry were appearing at the edges of Federation space, but they weren't human ships. They were vessels from dozens of previously unknown civilizations, all bearing the same message. Admiral Zenth Cole was the first to encounter them. His patrol fleet intercepted what appeared to be a massive convoy of refugee ships near the Kepler corridor. The lead vessel requested parley, and what stepped aboard his flagship defied every assumption the Federation had made about humanity. The being stood 7 feet tall with pale blue skin and 6 arms, each ending in delicate, tool-designed appendages. Behind him came representatives from at least 20 other species, none of them human. "I am Ambassador Helix 9 of the Andromedan Coalition," the being said in perfect galactic standard. "We come seeking those responsible for the destruction of Earth." "You're not human," Admiral Zenth Cole observed, confusion evident in his translation matrix. "No," Helix 9 replied, his multiple eyes displaying what the universal translator identified as grief. "We are their children." The revelation struck the Federation like a supernova. The humans hadn't just been spreading rebellion among existing species. In their 3 centuries of galactic travel, they had been doing something unprecedented. They had been adopting. Every species deemed unworthy by the Federation, every civilization too small or too weak to matter, every group of refugees displaced by galactic expansion, the humans had found them all. They had offered them homes, citizenship, families. They had shared their technology, their culture, their stubborn insistence that every thinking being possessed inherent worth. "Earth was home to over 4 billion beings when you destroyed it," Helix 9 continued, his voice steady despite the translator's detection of overwhelming emotion. "Only 800 million of them were human." The reports that followed painted a picture that shattered every preconception the Federation held. Earth hadn't been a human world that occasionally hosted other species. It had become the galaxy's first truly multicultural civilization, a place where strength came not from domination, but from diversity. The humans had turned their world into something the galaxy had never seen. A planet where the Zeridian math singers could compose equations alongside Terran musicians, where the microscopic Zephyrian collective intelligence could network with human neural researchers, where the photosynthetic Verdani could share agriculture techniques with both human farmers and silicon-based lithoids. "They called it the human condition," reported Dr. Kellen, a crystalline being whose species had been among Earth's refugees. Not because it was exclusive to humans, but because they believed it was the condition all thinking beings deserved: to be valued, to be free, to be part of something greater than themselves. The Federation's response was swift and typical. They labeled the coalition a terrorist organization and moved to contain them. This proved to be their final mistake. The humans, it turned out, had spent 3 centuries not just creating a multicultural society, but training it for war. Every refugee species they had taken in had brought their own expertise, their own technologies, their own tactical knowledge. The Andromedans had provided adaptive robotics. The Zephyrians had shared quantum communication networks. The Verdani had offered biological warfare defenses. But most importantly, the humans had given them all something the Federation had never expected: unified purpose. The war lasted 18 months. At its end, the Galactic Federation lay in ruins, its caste systems shattered, its member worlds declaring independence one by one. The coalition forces stood victorious, but they took no pleasure in conquest. Instead, they did something that would have made their human teachers proud. They built something new. The new Galactic Commonwealth emerged from the ashes, founded on principles that would have been laughable to the old Federation: equality, representation, and the radical idea that civilization should serve its people, not the other way around. At the Commonwealth's first assembly, a small monument was placed at the center of the Great Hall. It bore the names of Earth's lost billions and a simple inscription in dozens of languages. They taught us that family is not about blood or species or origin. Family is about who you choose to stand with when the darkness comes. Today we choose to stand with everyone. The irony was not lost on any of them. In trying to eliminate humanity's influence, the Federation had instead ensured it would spread to every corner of the galaxy. The humans were gone, but their most dangerous idea remained: that every being, no matter how small or different, mattered. And that idea, once planted, could never be destroyed.